Archie is 7 years old. Lilibet is 5. Their grandfather is 76. His cancer is not in remission. And for 6 summers in a row, neither child has stood on the lawns of Balmoral. Princess Diana last walked those same lawns in the summer of 1997. She brought Harry every August. He was 12 years old when she died. He has spent every year since describing exactly what that loss did to him. He understands what a parent's absence does to a child. He wrote a book about it. His father is alive. The invitation to Balmoral has never been withdrawn. The security infrastructure on those 50,000 acres has hosted world leaders under genuine threat conditions. Harry is stunned by what King Charles's silence about his own children actually means. And what it means is not what anyone is saying out loud. 3 things. What Harry's visit to a war zone in January 2023 reveals about the security argument. What 6 summers of empty Balmoral lawns reveal about what is really being negotiated. And the one question underneath all of it that is not rhetorical. It is mathematical. __. In January 2023, Harry flew to Kyiv. Active war, bombs falling. European conflict at a scale not seen since the Second World War. He arranged security privately. He went. The trip happened. The logistics were solved because when something is genuinely prioritized, the logistics get solved. And yet, in 6 years, he has not brought Archie and Lilibet to Balmoral, a private estate in Scotland. 50,000 acres. Permanent professional security staffed year-round. A travel route from a private airfield to the estate involving primarily royal land and controlled terrain. No uncontrolled crowds. No public commercial spaces. Just the grounds. Just the estate. Just a grandfather and 2 small children. The kind of ordinary, protected private time that this property has always made possible. If he can go to Kyiv during a war, he can bring his children to Balmoral during peacetime. The security argument stops being about security the moment you lay those 2 facts next to each other. Which means the obstacle is not security. The obstacle is whatever the security dispute has become a proxy for. And what it has become a proxy for is a permanent taxpayer-funded arrangement that would not expire with Charles's reign. That would bind William when he becomes king. An arrangement significantly harder to revoke once granted than to decline before it was ever given. That is what is actually being negotiated here. Not a summer visit, a precedent. Quick question before we go further. Do you believe Harry's security concerns are genuine, or do you think something else is driving this? Tell me yes or no in the comments right now. And tell me which country you are watching from. Australia, United Kingdom, United States, Canada. Wherever you are, this community reads this correctly every single time. And if you are not subscribed yet, do it right now, because when Harry responds to what Charles's silence actually means, this community will be the first place that conversation happens honestly. Be here for it. ____. There is a parallel nobody is connecting. And once you hear it, the picture becomes something else entirely. Meghan Markle's father, Thomas Markle, has been completely estranged from his daughter for years. He has no relationship with Archie and Lilibet. None. No visits. No confirmed contact. Complete severance. He has given interviews expressing desperation for contact. He has publicly asked. He has been denied. 2 grandfathers. 2 complete absences. Same 2 children. On one side, a man who cooperated with tabloids and staged photographs before the wedding. On the other side, a man who absorbed the Oprah interview without public retaliation. Who absorbed the Netflix documentary without briefing against his son. Who absorbed the memoir titled Spare without a legal response. Who kept the door open year after year while managing a cancer diagnosis during the most demanding institutional transition the British monarchy has seen in nearly a century. The Sussex position on Thomas Markle has always been clear. Conduct has consequences. Behavior that damages trust results in withdrawal of access. Apply that principle to King Charles. And then tell me honestly whether the situations are parallel. When every grandparental relationship in a family has been severed, at some point the question shifts. Not why each individual relationship failed, but what is the common variable across all of them? Balmoral. The King's private estate in Scotland. 50,000 acres of royal property in the Scottish Highlands. The security infrastructure there is permanent, professional, staffed year-round. It exists regardless of which guests are present or what their individual protection status might be. The travel route from a private airfield involves primarily royal land and controlled terrain rather than public commercial spaces. World leaders have walked those grounds under the same security umbrella. Foreign heads of state with genuine documented threats against them have stayed at Balmoral without incident. The Queen hosted prime ministers there for 70 years. The idea that two children aged 7 and 5 cannot safely visit the same estate because their father's protection status is being contested in a separate legal proceeding stops making sense the moment you examine the practical reality. It looks less like a security concern and more like a negotiating position wearing safety clothing. This visit is logistically achievable right now. The infrastructure exists, the property exists, the security exists. The invitation by all available reporting exists and has reportedly been renewed multiple times through intermediaries. Charles has never said they are not welcome. So, if the Balmoral scenario is achievable, the question becomes a different question entirely. It is no longer about whether the children can safely visit the United Kingdom. It is about why they have not. What is the one word that comes to your mind when you consider that? Leave it below. Just one word. Because this community never gets this wrong. Underscore. There is a reason King Charles cannot simply capitulate. That reason is walking around Windsor Castle preparing for responsibilities that will define the next 50 years of this institution. Prince William, who is thinking in decades, not in news cycles, not in the immediate emotional reward of a grandfather seeing his grandchildren on a Tuesday afternoon in August, in the actual future of what this institution looks like when George is the age William is now. A precedent set today about security arrangements for a departed royal does not expire when the current reign ends. It becomes institutional furniture. It becomes something future claimants can point to. It becomes the baseline for negotiations that have not yet been imagined with people who have not yet been born. William is not being cold when he holds this line. He is being institutional in the purest sense of the word. He is protecting the structure, not punishing his brother. But the effect for Charles is that one son's institutional judgment constrains his ability to reach the other son's children, which is why Charles had exactly 3 options. Option 1. Capitulate, grant the security arrangement. Get the grandchildren to Balmoral. The immediate emotional reward is obvious. You see Archie. You see Lilibet. You sit with them in a garden and have the kind of afternoon that grandparents live for. But the institutional cost is catastrophic. You have just established that security decisions can be overridden by family pressure applied through the press. Every future negotiation proceeds from that precedent. William inherits that. William, by every available piece of reporting, would view that as an unacceptable breach. Option 2. Publicly refuse. Issue a statement making clear that the security question is an institutional matter and that family access will not be used as a mechanism to influence it. The institutional credibility is preserved. The process remains intact. But the coverage for the next 72 hours is about a grandfather with cancer who chose institutional process over seeing his grandchildren. That framing, once it enters public consciousness, does not come out. It follows him through whatever time he has left. Option 3. Silence, say nothing. Authorize nothing. Signal nothing. Let the story exist in the public space without confirming it, without denying it, without engaging with its framing. Accept that others will fill the vacuum. Avoid choosing between the two options that both lead somewhere permanent. Unresolved is painful. Unresolved is not permanent. The other two options are permanent. Charles chose silence. And when you see it from his position with those specific constraints, it is the only option that does not close a door permanently. Silence is never an accident. Silence is always a choice. Underscore. Harry has spoken at length about losing his mother young. Princess Diana died in September 1997 when Harry was 12 years old. He described the specific wound of a parent being gone before a child is ready. The things that were never said. The questions that can no longer be asked. The conversations that could not happen because the person was no longer there to have them. He articulated that understanding with more emotional force than almost any public figure of his generation. He made it the emotional center of Spare. He made it the foundation of Sentebale, named after the Sesotho word for forget-me-not, a direct tribute to Diana. And here is the parallel that sits at the center of this entire story. His father is alive. His father is present. By every available report, his father keeps extending grace without public complaint, keeps the door open, without receiving any reciprocation. The door to Balmoral stands open. The security infrastructure at Balmoral exists and has existed for decades. The invitation has reportedly been renewed multiple times through intermediaries. King Charles absorbed the Oprah interview. He absorbed the Netflix series. He absorbed Spare, all without publicly responding in kind. He did not brief against his son. He did not authorize retaliation through sympathetic journalists. He absorbed it. And his cancer is not in remission. And the summers keep passing. 6 years, 2 grandfathers, the same 2 children. Do you think this is a deliberate pattern or a series of separate decisions? Tell me your honest answer below, because this community is always 2 steps ahead of where the mainstream media ends up. Underscore. There is a principle in negotiation theory that applies here with uncomfortable precision. In any exchange where one party has made a demand and is waiting for a response, the person who speaks next loses positional ground. Every negotiator knows this instinctively. The silence after a demand is not empty space. It is a counter-move. It forces the person who made the demand to sit with the sound of their own position and to begin wondering whether they overplayed their hand. Charles spent decades watching the most sophisticated diplomatic apparatus on Earth operate from inside his own family's institutions. He understands the weight of not responding. The discipline required to absorb a public statement about your own grandchildren being withheld and respond with nothing is not passivity. That is a decision made with the full understanding of what engagement would cost. Which brings us back to the 3 numbers at the center of everything. Archie is 7. Lilibet is 5. Charles is 76. The ages where a grandparent's consistent physical presence shapes memory are specific. A 7-year-old and a 5-year-old will carry the foundation of their understanding of family from these exact years. That foundation does not get built through video calls. It does not get built through scheduled appearances or negotiated visits that never materialize. It gets built through presence, through repetition, through the accumulation of small, unscripted, unfilmed moments that a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old will carry with them for the rest of their lives. And if that foundation does not get built during these specific years, its absence leaves a different kind of foundation. One made of distance and unfamiliarity. The quiet awareness that a grandparent existed somewhere far away, but was never really part of the texture of their childhood. Meghan and Harry's representatives have maintained consistently that the security concerns are genuine and that family safety is the primary consideration. That position is on record and has been noted here once. But here is where this story lands. The estate exists. The security exists. The invitation exists. Charles has never closed the door. Charles has never said they are not welcome. The security argument stops being about security when the man making it flew to Kyiv during an active war and arranged his own protection privately. The precedent argument explains why William holds the line. The Thomas Markle parallel asks the question nobody wants to answer publicly. And underneath all of it are three numbers that do not negotiate. 7, 5, 76. Subscribe right now because Harry's response to this specific silence has not come yet. And when it does, this community will be asking questions nobody else is asking. You and I will be here for that conversation the moment it happens. Be here for it. How many more summers? That is not a rhetorical question. It is a mathematical one. And nobody in this story gets to determine the answer. The answer is determined by biology, and by medicine, and by the kind of uncertainty that does not file extensions or request continuances. Time runs, and every summer that passes without Archie and Lilibet on the lawns of Balmoral is a summer that does not come back. Princess Diana last walked those lawns in 1997. Harry was 12. He knows what absence costs. His father is alive. The door is open. And the summers keep passing.